Okay. I I never touch these settings. I don't know what the heck is going on. Why it's muted, but anyway, I just think I just fixed it. Can you hear me now? 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 Perfect. Okay. I swear I don't touch anything. I sit down, I turn the computer on, I do the show, I turn the computer off, I go back, I turn the computer. I don't touch any of the settings, but honey, I don't know. It just has a mind of its own. Maybe it updated something or whatever. Anyway, as I was saying before I so rudely shut down, this is a relationship advice show where people send in their questions in advance. Um, so this is not the one. We'll be doing that actually. I'm not sure if I'll have the energy to do it tomorrow. We might have to move it to Friday, but it's gonna be either tomorrow or Friday. We do the paid advice questions once a month, and it's $10. I'll give you a little information about that before we log off today. But what I was saying too is for people who wrote in letters today, be sure to look in the chat and get some advice from the chatters because we have people that have been in the channel or hanging around here for years and they're very thoughtful, very considerate. They'll have a different of opinion sometimes. Sometimes they'll augment what I say because they have particular expertise in, I don't know, your field, or they live in your area, or they have some kind of, references or links or something that they can tell you about. Something that may be helpful to you in a way that I cannot, because I don't have that particular knowledge that they do. Like, we have a lot of people that are right here from the UK. I don't know what's going on in the UK, but we have people here from there in Canada and other places that can give you an idea about, resources and things like that to look for that can be very helpful to you. So always listen to me, but then take a look at the chat stream as well when your question is live, so you can glean any important and helpful information that you may get from there as well. Okay, so there you are. Yes, please hit the like button and hit the share. Y'all saw the new video I did about queen rules, and about relationships. If you haven't checked it out, please do. It's the classic, and basically it sums up, like, I'd say probably about 1,000 videos worth of information, but it kind of condensed it and just gives you highlight information about 12 ways that you need to wear your crown at all times when you're dealing with men, and not cut them no slack. Don't give them an inch. Always take care of yourself. But anyway, it spells out in great detail. It's about a 40-minute video, and go and check that out. Okay, because a lot of people don't want to look at all 1,200, 1,500, however many videos it is here. And but at least that gives them something to start with, and that was my goal, something for you to get going with in a positive way that you can take your time listening to the other things and going a little deeper. So that's why I did that video. Oh, my little baby's here, Leandra. Oh, hey, Black Women Negotiating Lupus, you made it back. Oh, Lord, Giggles is here. Sliver, Mika, David, great. I see everybody. I feel like I'm doing roll call. So let's get started with these 25 letters. Okay, question number 1. Female in the 20 to 34 age group. She's from Southern California. Summary of issue. This fool threw the first letter. This fool threw the Christmas tree out the window. I'm just shocked and super upset. We haven't had an argument like this in 10 years. It was over petty things. He started giving me attitude over something stupid. To be honest, I was ignoring him, so I'm not sure what started to get him upset. He then started calling me dumb and ugly. Oh, wow. I decided to ignore him some more. He left and came back and started yelling again. I was recently accepted into a very good university. I think he's jealous. The only comment I said was, well, I guess being dumb is how I got accepted into the university. That set him off more. He opened the window, picked up the tree, and threw it out. Yelled some more and left again. I'm so thankful we have no children together, and I am not married. I'm ready to just leave him and move 5,000 miles away without telling him. I'm sure I could get into another university. Absolutely. But the bottom line is, if you got into this, especially if you got in with some scholarships and some support, you don't leave and go 5,000 miles away, which I don't know what country you gonna be trying to go to. What you should do is just leave him. Hey, Shay, you leave him and you go and move somewhere else. Like, you can move on campus if they have housing. And you want to be with a bunch of co-eds. I mean, they're little kids and they're kind of crazy. You're a little older than them, but still, I mean, you could do that too. One thing you should not do is tolerate this kind of disrespect. This is ridiculous. That he would, first of all, throw your property out the window, and then secondly, call you all kind of names. Yeah, he's jealous. He's very jealous. And he knows that you're going to be too good for him, and he knows that there's no reason for you to stay with him, and so he's acting a fool. So he wants to set it up so that you leave him, so he doesn't have to, since you leave in a way that he doesn't have to feel any hurt about it. He can say, well, yeah, because he's mad. You know what I mean? So since he's mad and you guys break up, it's not the same as him. You just say, well, I'm leaving you because you're dumb and stupid, and you're not going nowhere, and it's pointless. He'd rather do it this way. So that's all that is. It's a smoke screen. Let's move on. These guys are just so sad. Question number 2, female, 22 to 27. She's from El Paso, Texas. Summary of issue. My best friend slept with my boyfriend. Interesting how you worded that. Let us proceed. My best friend is 22 and she slept with my boyfriend. He's 23. And she has never done anything like this before. I would imagine if she did, she would be your friend still, right? And we've been friends now since high school. She told me while drunk after a night out, saying that she is very sorry and how she didn't know how to tell me, but she has feelings for him. They've known each other for a long time, and I met him through her, actually. She has been an amazing friend, to be honest, and it's out of character for her to act in this way. I feel hurt and upset, but at the same time, I value our friendship. I feel disappointed at my boyfriend. We've been together for a while, and I thought I could trust him. Should I break up with him after this? Absolutely. You know why? Because obviously, I'm not sure why she introduced him to you if she liked him. Maybe because he didn't like her back, but he changed his mind. I don't know. But whatever it is, you the third wheel in their situation, and you should, respecting yourself, just leave this alone. I would also suggest that you leave her alone. I know you feel like she's an amazing friend and you've known her through high school and all this old stuff here, but friends change just like underwear. I don't really see what that's, what is she doing for you that makes you feel like you need to be so tied to her? I mean, it's great that she told you. I mean, I appreciate that part that she did tell you so that you're not living a dream, you're living a fantasy. But if you have a boyfriend and you have a girlfriend who would do that kind of stuff to you, neither one of them really give a shit about you. That's what you need to accept. Okay? You say, I feel hurt and upset, but I value your friend. If you can't value friendship that she didn't value, because see, true friends wouldn't do you like that. So you need to think about this some more. I know you're young and you're not thinking clearly, but at least you had enough sense to write to me. So I'm just trying to give you, the ways to think through this. People who respect and love you don't treat you this way. Okay? They don't. Question number 3. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from San Antonio, Texas. Summary of issue: my boyfriend, who's been 4 years sober, drank my cooking wine. Okay, cooking wine is nasty. So, dude was desperate. I went out the other night with my friends. I'm usually a homebody, but it was one of my closest friends' birthday, and she has no family in this country. So we went out for a few hours. I came home at 9. Later that night, when my boyfriend and I finally went to bed, we were cuddling, and I smelled my cooking wine. It was Sauvignon Blanc on his breath. Oh gosh, she's so specific. Then last night, I went to grab my wine to cook a dish, and both bottles were gone. I asked him, "You know where my wine is?" He said he tossed it because he was triggered the other night. I told him if he ever drank my wine, I would forgive myself. He walked in the other room after I said that. I want to confront him, but I know he will deny it. He is a heavy pot smoker and he quit but picked it up a few days later behind my back. I confronted him multiple times because we have been together for 5 years. I could tell when he is high. He denied it multiple times until I told him I knew what he was smoking because of how often and long it takes him to take out the garbage. So he finally admitted it. We got into a bad fight over the next few days after that because I told him I didn't care that he was smoking. I cared that he was doing it behind my back and lying to me. Now he is sober from alcohol for 4+ years, and I find this out. What do I do? I'm sure he feels awful, and that's why I have not confronted him. I should also add that he is unemployed, and I have been supporting us the past few months. I am 26 and he is 28, and you are also 26 and stupid. You are being used. This just irritates the hell out of me. Little girl, if you don't get your stuff or kick him out and get your stuff and move on, I don't know what to tell you. If he backslid, okay, he's an alcoholic and he starts drinking again. Now, the fact that you think that he's been 4 years sober, this may not be true, okay? But the fact that he just gonna go just whole hog and down 2 bottles of wine plus whatever else he did because you was gone, you don't know what he did, where he went, and what else he may have got his hands on. I personally don't do drunks. I mean, I like a little drinky drink. I mean, you all know I'd have a little drinky drink, but weeks will go by, months, and I won't have anything. And then I'll, something I have, go to an event or something. I decide that the show is stressing me out, and so then I have a drink, glass of wine or something. But to drink 2 whole bottles of wine by himself, no. He lied about what he's doing to you behind your back, no. He's not working. He's not contributing nothing financially for months, no. So, to me, that's 3 strikes, you out. I don't know what you stand there for. You write to me about some stupid stuff where you got You taking care of a grown man like he's a kid and talking about confronting him. You don't confront him. You tell him to pack his shit and get the fuck out. That's what you tell him. You tripping. You're seriously tripping here. Please look at the new video. Please, I should get the link. Shay, can you get the link to that video? The new one about the queens, so we can put it in the chat stream a couple of times during the show. Because this girl right here, I should have thought of that. I didn't think of it. This girl right here, and probably several others that we're going to run into tonight, need that link. And I think it's easier if it's right in the chat. They can just click it. Ooh, oh my God. Poor thing. This is sad. Question number 4. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Columbus, Ohio. Summary of issue. How do I bring up the topic of an exclusive relationship with this girl? I'm 23 and she's 20. Oh, that's kind of young. So I've been seeing this girl for about a month, but we haven't really set the terms yet of what we are. I think she has about the same beliefs regarding things like FWB and open relationships, aka fun for others, but not for me. But I'm not sure. As someone who has never been in a relationship, how do I bring this up? With your conversation, with your mouth, you say, look, I really like you. How do you feel about us being, just like a couple, just the two of us without seeing other people? Are you ready for something like that? Do you need more time, or is it something that you're not really interested in right now? I mean, because sometimes, even though she might be interested in it at some point, she's not right now because of obligations, health issues, working 2 or 3 jobs, no time, school. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why someone might not want to invest the time and energy that it takes to maintain and sustain a relationship. They just, like a little dating companionship here and there. But, until you ask her, you'll never know the answer to that question. So I suggest that you sit her down on your next date and just bring it up. Okay? This is the part that drives me crazy, though. Is this me? Is you? Girl, because it is simple. I just don't understand why people be doing, but I mean, it's his first little relationship. So, I mean, but, understand this. We say 1 month, but honey, when a man is into you, it could be 2 days. But, it's going to show in his behavior. It's not like, the love bombing kind of stuff. I mean, it's going to show in consistent behavior towards you over a period of time. So he may not say anything, but that doesn't mean that he's not feeling it. With like, almost as soon as they meet you, really. They know that you're going to be their woman. My daddy and my uncles and my cousins, they all said they knew that she was going to be their wife the second they met her. So it's, but the men have enough sense not to say that. They let them, a little bit of time go by as they develop the relationship and let the woman start feeling comfortable with them and, build trust in the relationship and all that kind of stuff. But what his initial feelings developed way before a month, way before. But they have enough, like I said, they got enough savvy. They understand, women are not like that, enough to be patient and wait for her to catch up to him. So, I guess, hold on a second, y'all. I guess Shay didn't hear me. So I'm going to get the link for the new video myself so I can put it in here because I have a feeling I'm going to be referring to it a lot today. Here we go. Here it is. Let me get this link right quick. Okay, done. Here it is. It's called Queen's 12 Rules for Men and Relationships. There it is right there. And I'll put it in there accordingly as questions come up. Okay? If you haven't seen it yet, please click the link later after the show and look at it yourself. Or you can just find it on the channel page. It's the latest video. Let's move on to question number 5. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Nottingham in the UK. Summary of issue. I need to learn how to function in a kitchen and know how to clean and live. Oh, wait, this is a male. I'm sorry. This young man, 22 to 27 in Nottingham in the UK. I need to learn how to function in a kitchen and know how to clean and live as an adult person before I move in with my girlfriend of 2 years. I need to learn or risk losing her. Apologies in advance, Deb. This is a bit of a ramble, but I really need some help. I'm 24 and I grew up not really knowing how to clean or use the kitchen that much My parents never taught me, and I don't have much experience living on my own and keeping my house in order. I essentially have less knowledge of this stuff than probably a lot of 17-year-olds. My girlfriend has to show me a lot of stuff, such as rinsing the soap off dishes before drying them. Dude, what? You ought to know you're not going to be eating soap bubbles with your food. Now, come on now. Not putting large kitchen knife blades up in the dishwasher. You never cut yourself? Living off food other than pasta and takeout. How to clean the kitchen and the bathroom. Maintaining a generally tidy living space. We plan on living together soon, which I'm really excited about, but she's been getting increasingly frustrated with me for not knowing how to do basic stuff like cooking, cleaning, tidying up, and basically most housekeeping. I love her more than I've loved anyone else, and I see a long future with this woman, but this has become a serious issue for her, and she has openly stated how sick she is of having to explain common sense stuff to me. I generally see it being a potential relationship breaker if I don't up my game. I'm quite embarrassed about this stuff as I'm literally a 24-year-old man with a full-time job who has a seriously limited knowledge on how to maintain a healthy living space. I can't ask my parents as I don't feel comfortable discussing it with them. Essentially, I would welcome any advice, guidance, pointers, links to resources, experiences, or anything else that can help me become someone who wouldn't be a nightmare to live with. My plan so far is to look online for basic tips and guides on this stuff, but I would really appreciate any targeted info you or the squad feel may be helpful to me. I'm going to tell you this. In your life, at your job, um, a neighbor, somebody, one of your friends' mothers, you are going to approach that woman and tell her what your problem is and ask her if you can shadow her for a day while she cleans the house, and you're going to help her do the chores while you learn how to do it. So she'll get assistance and you'll get some training. Okay. And you're going to do that with maybe 2 or 3 people until you get it right. These are the kind of things your parents should have done. But this is the new way that a lot of these parents, they don't give their kids any responsibilities. They don't have any chores. They never make them cook. They clean up their rooms for them. They do the laundry for them and everything well into their 20s. So you got a bunch of like kiddie mentality adults running around that don't know how to do shit. And this parent is exactly the problem. You, these helicopter kind of parents that want to hover around their kids and control their every life, but you don't teach them nothing. Your job as a parent is to make your child independent so that when you are not there, your child makes good decisions, your child can carry on, and your child can take care of him or herself in a way that is adequate. Okay, if you don't teach your kid this kind of stuff, you send your kid out into the world just just way behind the 8 ball. A woman who's got her stuff together is not gonna want your son, okay? Because everybody ain't trying to be your man's mama. That she will pass him by, and your son will die lonely, living in your basement, depending on you to cook and clean for him the rest of his life. Some of you probably that's what you want. That's why you cripple your sons. But this is just disgusting in this day and age. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do. Then you're gonna take your little butt on some look for just key in Google. Easy recipes. They have videos. You watch that shit. It tells you step by step what to do. Okay, it's not hard. You can make some basic stuff. Nobody says you have to become Gordon Ramsay overnight, but you can be able to throw together a basic meal with a vegetable, a starch, and a protein. Okay, that's classic meals right there. Anybody should be able to do that. Okay, you can't even take care of yourself. You can't make a basic breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That is sad. And yes, she would be disgusted with you because you would be like a little kid. You would be an albatross around her neck. I'm happy that you recognize it though. That you half the battle's won already because you recognize that this shit here ain't gonna fly, and I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna lose this woman. So that's what you go to on your job. Go to your neighbor. I mean, whatever people that you know that have mature women in their life that will understand what's going on. Explain that your parents never taught you. Your girlfriend, you want to move in with her, but you don't want to be a burden to her. Can they spend a few hours teaching you this stuff? They're gonna do it. You're gonna watch it. Then you're gonna do it yourself, so that you get the practice. Okay. That's the only thing I can think of that would be helpful. It's like a, show and tell kind of live demo type of thing, internship, whatever you want to call it. But it's hands-on learning, and that's what you got to do. Yeah, I feel bad for these dudes too because, when they're young, You know, this is time when parents, you know, you 12 years old, you can start teaching your sons to cook. You put them in the kitchen with you, even younger sometimes. You know, some people don't let their kids handle like big, you know, those big knives. I got a new set of knives. Oh, they like these Japanese cooking knives. It's my Christmas present to myself. Oh my God, these things are beautiful, but they cost a grip. But I cook a lot, and I need some good knives, and so there you go. But you know, if you have somebody who's not experienced handling a knife, you don't want to give them anything like that because they'll chop their fingers off like in short order. You don't want to do that. But this is something that you can start doing, young man. You can learn how to make stuff in a crock pot. You can learn how to bake things. You know, there's simple dishes that you can learn how to make. There's no excuse. Now for you to be the age that you are. So get on it. Okay. Question number 6. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Toronto, Canada. Summary of issue. Boyfriend doesn't want to move in and get married, but he wants kids. I hope you told. Yeah, I have an Instant Pot too. But he not at Instant Pot level yet. He's at boiling water level. Deb, I think I know what you're going to say, but I would still like some advice on this. My boyfriend has juggled with the idea of moving back in together, back in, but cannot make up his mind. He wrote a pros and cons list, and the pros were 2 pages, while the cons were about 3 things. We were 100% on moving for about 5 months, and then all of a sudden he can't decide. Now I only have a month to find new housing and possibly pick up a second job because financially I was counting on splitting expenses. In terms of the future, he says he wants to have kids, but does not under any circumstance want to get married. It bothers me because having children is such a big commitment, and marriage is such a smart thing financially, especially with children. Agreed. I know there is no doubt that he loves me with his entire heart and that he wants to spend the rest of his life with me, but it makes me not want to have kids with someone who can't even make a different commitment that's less permanent than having kids. You can't get a prenup or divorce a child. His parents and my parents both had nasty divorces, and this plays a role in my thinking. Why should I carry children for someone when he can't even compromise on marriage? My entire family is very old school as well. We are from India, and my boyfriend is white. I don't know what to do or where to go from here, and I'd really like some advice. To be clear, he does not want kids now, but sometime in the future. I don't care if he wants them when he's 900. It don't matter if he doesn't want to marry you. Okay? That's for, like you just pointed out, that's for the protection of the children as well as for you. Why should you build a future, buy homes and property and all this stuff, invest in stuff with somebody that you're not married to? That's a stupid, stupid, dummy move, and a lot of women do that. Well, it's like we're married. Uh-huh. You idiot. No, it's not. And you come from a culture where marriage is an important part of the socialization and family values and stuff. Don't you dare let him get away with this. What I would suggest is, he don't want to move in, so he's not trying to be committed to you. He just wants to tap it. So what you do is close that door and go and find somebody who's on the same page as you and wants what you do. Most likely it'd be another Indian person, or at least somebody that's, understands your culture and is willing to, embrace it. You don't want somebody who's got morals and values the complete opposite of yours. You are wasting your time in this situation. This relationship it's not going to go anywhere. As soon as you come and tell your parents that, he want to have a baby, but he don't want to get married, you know what they'll ship your behind back to India. That's what they're going to do. You better watch it. This is not going to work, young lady. I think you know that. You just wanted the right to be validated in that. So get rid of this guy. Tell him, I can't do this. I can't be what you want to be, and I don't want the kind of relationship that you're offering. Deuces. Question number 7. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Los Angeles, California. The young lady is 28 to 34 too. Summary of issue. Last night, my fiance and I had a disagreement that went overboard. Am I being sensitive? He asked. We were in a group text and someone mentioned taking BART. I had no idea what that was, so I asked. They thought it was funny that a Californian didn't know what BART is. BART is short for Bay Area Rapid Transit. I know. I'm not stupid like you. I grew up in Southern California, so I had no idea what it was. What, are you living under a rock? Everybody knows what BART is. BART's been around for like 40 years. How could you not know? Okay, I came upstairs to brush my little dude's teeth, and my fiance was right there folding clothes. And I asked her what it is since no one had told me yet. And you got a phone and you couldn't look it up? Do you see what I'm going, what's going on here? All of this angst that you have, and that's what they have your smartphone for. All you have to do is go in there, BART, and it would have popped right up, and you'd be like, oh. But instead, you going through all of this trouble and writing all this big message and having a fight and stuff about some shit you could have answered for yourself in 10 seconds. You sound stupid. I just have to be blunt because this don't make no sense. The whole time I'm brushing my little dude's teeth, she is recording and laughing at me. And I had to ask her about 9 to 10 times what part is. See y'all? See what I'm talking about? It started to annoy me that she wouldn't just tell me and kept laughing at me. What bothers me is she sent that video in the group text without me knowing about it. Wow. Then she messaged the group and said, hey guys, please stop because he is being sensitive. I confronted her about sending the video and her belittling comments toward me. But she insisted that I was being sensitive and I need to get out of my feelings. To me, you should have your significant other's back. I understand joking and having fun, but recording me without me knowing and making belittling comments towards me made me feel inferior. No, you made yourself feel inferior. Like I said, on your way up the stairs to brush the little dude's teeth, you could have pulled out your phone and looked it up. Okay? There's no reason why all of this happened. You was just being difficult and ridiculous and sensitive. You want her to hand feed you the answers instead of you as a grown man with a kid taking the initiative to learn something independently of other people. While you were in the group chat, you could have done that. While you was on your way up the stairs, you could have done that. While you was busy fighting with her about it, you could have done that. You could have done that on many opportunities, but you chose not to just so you could bitch and moan at her about it. I'm not feeling you at all. This doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense. Say I live in Canada and I know what BART. I'm telling you, BART, I mean, seriously, when did BART start? In the 70s? It's been around forever. It's been expanded, to like many, many different times. So now it runs like through most of the Bay Area. They're talking about bringing it down into San Jose. That's under negotiation now. That would be great because it would alleviate a lot of traffic off of the freeways. But, I mean, how could you not know what rock he's been living under? It makes you wonder what he reads and news. What I don't understand it, but whatever. That's why she mocked you because you stupid. Question number 8, female, 22 to 27 from St. Paul, Minnesota. Summary of issue: my partner doesn't see a future with me. What should I do now? He told you? Okay. Let us proceed. I'm 25 and my partner is 31. We have been together for a little over a year now. And during a chilled out conversation about moving abroad to another country for work, he said that I could go anywhere I want, but he won't be joining me because in case I decide to move away. And at that point it seemed okay, but then I felt like he probably doesn't see a future with me, which is why he pointed such a random thing out. Now I don't have concrete plans about moving or wanting to get married. However, I would like to know how far we could take this relationship. I asked him if he saw a future with me, and he said no, because he feels that I'm shrinking myself for him, and I would someday move out. Ooh. I don't know how to feel about this. Any recommendations to bring my mind to peace, ladies? Yes, dude is telling you to go and be great, not to limit yourself because of him. To expand your horizons and take advantage of the opportunities that are coming your way without thinking about him or a relationship. He's doing the work that you should be doing yourself. Those are messages you should be telling yourself. You're not married. You don't have no ties to this client. He's a mere boyfriend. Okay? And you might hope to get married, but that doesn't mean you're going to get married to him. Right? You know how many people we date in our lifetime? Oh my God, zillions. I can't even tell you how many thousands of dates I've been on. And you know where all of them are now? In the wind. Because I didn't care. They was like, oh, next. And that's what this is. You had a little brief, pit stop here in this little relationship in St. Paul, Minnesota. But now you're getting ready to go abroad and do big things. Go. Tell him thank you for being honest. You enjoyed your time with him. He was a wonderful boyfriend. You have to take away wonderful, good memories. Pack your shit and get on the plane. That's what you do. Okay? You're only 25 years old. Get up there trying to worry about that kind of stupid stuff. Girl, Honey, hefty, you're right. Hefty bags. I'm just not believing this. Question number 9. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Orlando, Florida. The young man is in the 22 to 27 age group. So 18 to 21, okay, he's a little. Some issue, I never know how to feel about my boyfriend. I never really wanted a relationship to begin with, but he was persistent to make me his girlfriend. He is older than me, 27, and I just made 19. Oh, shit. That's a big difference. I would hang out with him so much as well, and then he just started calling me his girlfriend. I went along with it because I do like him. When I'm not around him, all I can think about is all the things I don't like about him. He's 27, lives with his dad. He's in debt from rehab, borrows my car since he needs to fix his, but he has no money. And I feel like he's manipulating me at times. He never really wants to have eggplant. Plus, I just feel a constant distrust of him. But then when when I'm around him, I do love him. I don't know what to do, and I feel stuck with him. I tell myself I just have to wait it out and he will have his life together. He tells me he hates being alone, and I motivate him to do better in life because he thinks I'm his soulmate and he wants to take care of me. Boy, what you are is young and dumb. That's what you are. On this show, I just, because there's probably people listening here saying, oh my God, I can't believe she's talking to people like that. On this show, I don't pull punches. I don't mince words. I don't cherry coat and frost stuff in bullshit. I tell people just like it is. This girl is 19 years old. This man is on the downstroke to 30, and he is a dusty bum. She's such a noob that she doesn't even understand that she's getting played. She had enough sense to write here, though, but I'm not going to be the kind that's going to sit there and say, oh, my God, well, just give him time. And, he does love you most likely, but he doesn't know how to show it because we don't do that here. We go right into what the issue is, which is she's getting used. He's driving her car. He ain't putting no gas in it because he don't have no money. He's not on insurance, right? So if he crashes the car, what's going to happen then? See, these are things that 19-year-old girls don't really think about. He's not doing it with you. He's doing it with somebody. But I'm glad he's not, because then your silly behind would probably end up pregnant and be stuck with him forever. He's in debt. That means he has no money. Even if he did have some, it would have to be going towards debt, so he wouldn't be able to do anything for you. So I'm trying to figure out what it is that you think you're getting out of this situation. How is this relationship and this association with him benefiting you in any way? You need to sit there and think about that. And if you can't see it, because I'm not seeing none, then let it go. Just tell him you're not stuck with nobody that you're not married to. You just block his number. Make sure that you keep your, car keys in case he made a copy of the keys or something. If he takes your car, you're going to call the police and you're going to report it stolen immediately in case he crashes into something and puts you on the hook for $200,000 in damages to somebody or somebody's life or something. These are the realities of what the situation that you've created for yourself. There's every kind of liability here for you and no benefits at all. You're being set up and you're being used. All that time he was spending with you while you were, he wasn't really dating you, but he's feeling you out. He's getting in your head. He's finding out how you think and what you know and what you don't, how protective you are and how much game you have. And he found that you don't have any. So this is what happens to young women who don't have any game and don't recognize game when it's coming their way. Okay. Go through some of the videos on this channel. Okay. Go through the videos and understand what's going on here. You've got to get away from this guy. And I suggest until you learn something about men, don't date anybody. Don't call, don't hang out, don't do nothing. You go to work, you go to school, you go home, and then you learn. Oh, and he's from rehab too, okay? That means he got all kind of dependency problems. This guy's a loser. You couldn't find nobody else to date? Question number 10. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Greensboro, North Carolina. Some issue. My boyfriend keeps making jokes about K-ing me. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, he's not a man. He's a dusty bum. I said that. ENFP. He's what we call a dusty. He's useless. Okay, so he's in Greensboro, North Carolina, a boyfriend who's trying to make jokes about K-ing his girlfriend, and she's dating him. Let's see what this story is about. I'm 23 and have been dating this 20-year-old. Okay, he's only 20-year-old guy for a few months. He's pretty nice. We have literally everything in common and a lot of fun together. But his kind of aggression, he has kind of aggression issues, which I didn't think was a big deal because he doesn't really hurt me. I also never saw him as a threat despite his numerous attempts to, quote, assert dominance, end quote. I'm like 5'3" and he's 5'10", I think. And he makes it well known that I'm weaker than him. Sometimes when we're alone, I feel a little bit scared, but he has a really soft and emotional side, which I've never seen with a guy I've dated before. Sometimes he'll say stuff like he wants to cut me up into pieces and eat me. Oh, okay. Is his name Jeffrey? What's going on here? Huh. So that I could never leave him. Other times he says he'll okay me if I leave. I took all of this as a joke and we laughed it off. I'm older, so I felt like maybe he's just being immature. I don't know. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm making jokes, but this is seriously scary for her. Okay. The jokes were starting to make me uncomfortable. He'll sometimes say it and put his hands on my neck and then laugh it off. Other times he'll say it right before we have eggplant, like it's a turn on for him. There have been times when he says it and bites me. He told me that he likes the sound of me in pain. He also told me that he wanted to have eggplant with me while wearing a Michael Myers mask. I don't think he would actually K me, but the jokes aren't funny anymore. When I told him to stop, he says he knows I like it. I don't. Last night he asked if I'd ever K someone with him. I told him no. I can no longer tell if this is a joke. I'm scared. I didn't feel comfortable telling family or friends about it, which is why I'm writing to you. I'm truly scared and I want to leave, but I do not want to go about it. I want to go about it in the safest way possible. I plan on skipping town. I might do it without even telling him. Let me see what else she has to say, or if that's the end. Yes, that was the end of it. Okay, that's what I was going to suggest. What you should do is call one of those battered women's shelters in your area and explain the situation to them. Call the police, explain the situation to them. You can show them this letter and you can say, I need to get out of town and get as far away from this guy as possible. What do I do? How do I get away from him safely? And then they will give you some guidance. What you're going to do, though, first, you're going to change your phone number. Before you leave, you're going to change your phone number. You're not going to forward any phone number. You're going to change your email addresses. You're going to close down all your social media. And you're going to keep them closed. If you should open one in the future, you're not going to put your picture up there. You're not going to use your real name. You're just going to look in the phone book or something or online somewhere. You're going to pick a name, and that's going to be your name that you use on your screen name. That's what you would do. But I don't really see where you would need social media. That's to keep in touch with people that you know, which you're not going to be doing because you'll be putting them in danger. Since he can't get to you, he's going to try to get to them. So that's why I said you need to close all your social media pages and you're going to stay offline. You're not going to have your mail forwarded except to maybe a post office box somewhere in some state that you don't live in. And then that place can forward it to where you are. So you have to pay 2 mail forwarding services. But are we talking about for your safety? Yes. And so is it worth it to pay that $29 a month? Absolutely. It's like, we're talking about your life here. So you're not going to bicker about nickels and dimes. You're going to pay the money. So you're going to forward it to this place A. Place A is going to forward it to place B. And place B is going to forward it to you. You understand? So you're going to have a fee at each one of those 2 places. But that's for your protection. Yeah, this is unfortunate that you didn't take this seriously the first time he said it. So you feel like, hey, well, you don't understand that goes 2 ways. So, as you reach for me, it's be prepared to lose your nuts. Because I'm not going out like that. So I don't know what to tell you, because it's a stupid ass conversation to have. You having them kind of fantasies, get the fuck out. I'm not down with that. So you didn't say anything like that, and it's like because a lot of these young girls are raised so innocent. These parents, what the hell are you doing? You got to do better with your daughters. You got to do better. Teaching them stuff, what to watch out for. What stuff is dangerous and what they shouldn't be laughing off. but they should be recording so they can take it to the police. Stuff like that. See, all of this stuff, she should have had her phone on record and be like, oh yeah, what else would you want to do? Well, she would have some evidence. So if she had recorded him saying this stuff, then it would be a rap, and they would go and they could arrest him because he's threatened her life. But she just, she's telling us, but she doesn't have any proof of it. That's what I'm saying. Phones are great because they record. You could even do a live stream where it's, you were filming him doing this, going on YouTube or going on whatever, TikTok. I mean, whatever these little platforms are, Facebook, whatever. And it's being live streamed there and it's on that platform. So everybody's seeing it. So he can't say he didn't say it. You see what I'm saying? There's ways around this, but she didn't write in time. She wrote really late in the game. Had she written when this first happened, then I could have told her the stuff. She could have done all that. He would be behind bars by now. And she could be skipped out of town on her merry way safely. So, you can't let stuff like this go on, young ladies. If you get somebody starts threatening you, you need to take action immediately. The second he does something like that, if you don't know what to do, write me. That's what we're here for, to help you. You can't stay for months and months and let this stuff escalate and then say, oh no, I'm scared. What am I going to do? It should have been handled immediately the first week that he started on this path. This guy is a nut. He's probably going to be on, what's them shows where they have the mass murders and stuff? He's down like a nut. Wow. Okay, let's move on. Question number 11. Female, 22 to 27, Memphis, Tennessee. Male, 28 to 34. Tell me the issue. I started dating a single parent and now I want to leave. Yeah, I bet you do. So I started dating this 33-year-old dude who is a single parent. I'm 25 and a single parent myself, so I understand what it means to put your child first and to co-parent. With my situation, though, things ended terribly for my ex and I, so we co-parent cordially, but also have as little contact as possible. The guy I'm dating has a cordial co-parenting situation as well, except he spends time with both the mom and his child, not just the child. In the beginning, I was okay with it, but now I'm uncomfortable. The reason I became uncomfortable is because he told me that he had hooked up with his child's mother 2 months before we started dating and 9 months before that. And even though it was obviously before we met, I still feel uncomfortable and I can't shake that feeling. I feel like something is wrong, but I also would like to be open-minded about the situation. Why? Why do you need to be open-minded about it? Let's talk about that in a minute. He's been, excuse me, nothing but transparent with me about his life. Everything adds up with him, and he hasn't told a fib. He lives in a house by himself, and he has his daughter on the weekends. He also picks her up from school some days and drops her off at her mom's, but hangs out with them for hours until he's back at home. I feel insecure about this, and I don't want to. I also want to leave this man because I feel uncomfortable, and I don't mean to be the type to leave at any small inconvenience, but I think it's safe to say that I am stressed out. I think I need advice on what I should do with these feelings of insecurity. Okay, I'm looking on here. You don't say, I started dating, but you don't say how long. I'm just giving a letter to see it. You don't say how long, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a week, a month, a year. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is he has a lifestyle that you're not comfortable with, his interactions with the baby mama, spending all this time with her. He admits to having hooked up with her a couple of times, so that means there's some feelings still there on both sides. Otherwise, that wouldn't happen. And you recognize that on a deep level, but for some reason, you not leaving. For some reason, you still want to stay and let him use you like that. For some reason, you don't really seem to understand or want to accept that you are the third wheel in their relationship. They might be split up now, but trust me, if he's still interacting with her like that, there's still feelings on that on both sides. You not doing nothing but serving him up some butt. That's it. That's what you're there for, convenience. So get your kid, get your dignity, and leave this fool alone. Okay? Again, here is the link to the new video about keeping your crown on and being a woman who walks in a queenly way, walking your path. Please click that link and pay attention to what it says. Take notes. It's only 12 rules, but I think they're very important ones. And I think this is what you need to hear right about now, because You're not living right to be taking this kind of stuff. Question number 12. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Summary of issue. I'm in my late 20s and I'd like to have some dinner parties. How do I do that? Oh, you write the right person. I see all these cute dinner party ideas and themes on TikTok and Instagram, and I love hosting. It seems like I have to pick a date a month in advance to get all the people I would want there. Is this par for the course? How many people should I invite to my party in my one-bedroom apartment? My friends group is still very much people at least bring a side or dessert. Is that fine? It depends on how you want to do it. See, Deb don't eat everybody's cooking, especially if somebody come and tell me they got cats and dogs in their house. I'm not eating shit they cook. I don't do food, pet hair in my food, dander, cats and shit on counters, dogs licking shit. I don't do pets in the house, and I'm not eating at your house, and I'm not coming to your house, and you can't give me no food that you cooked at your house when you have pets in your house. That's just how I am. I don't do that. Too unsanitary. You see the dogs be licking their nuts in other people's butts and shit, and then they're gonna go lick some food, and you gonna serve that to me? I'm not doing that. Cats too. Litter boxes. They licking everything. No, that's just the grossest thing ever. I mean, people who have pets, they don't seem to mind it. They just overlook it or whatever. They love it. No, I'm not doing that. So, to me, that's why if I invite you to dinner, I'm cooking. You ain't bringing nothing. You can bring something that's sealed up, some soda, some potato chips and dip that's in the still in carton. You can bring, I don't know, ice cream. You can bring bottles of liquor. We always, that's always a win at this house. But you think I'm going to, girl, you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. I'm telling you, I pause the way how to handle it, stuff like that. You can bring that. But you're not going to cook nothing in your kitchen and bring it to my house and think I'm going to serve people. I'm not going to do that. And then, so, you plan what you can afford. If you have a one-bedroom apartment, depending upon the space that you have in your living room, I don't know. I would think no more than 6 people should be about right. Maybe 6 to 8 people sitting on the couch, some people standing around, maybe sitting at the table. You don't want it to be too crowded, and you don't want it to be like a line at the bathroom because you only got the one. So 6 to 8 people. So that's 3 to 4 couples or singles. And then, make sure you clear out stuff so they get, standing room to stand around and eat. You have your little plates and stuff. You put all the food on the table. People can do it like buffet style. That's the preferred way in a situation like that. On your counter, like if you have a counter in the kitchen, or, a little table that you can set up to put all the food and stuff on it. Usually beverages are in the kitchen. So if there's a spill, it's not on counter. It's not on the carpet. And then, your cups and everything is all in the kitchen as well. And it works pretty good. Make sure you have enough seating so people can sit down and eat. And there you go. It should be fun. Look in here and see what, they have to say. Yeah, she's back and just as crazy as ever. But, look in here and get an idea of what they had to say. But we used to do we used to do card parties, domino parties. We did all kind of stuff. My husband used to like to entertain. So we always had a lot of people, like when we had an event, a lot of people come through. They wouldn't all be there at the same time. But I would make like my Texas chili. I would make a giant pot of chili, a giant pot of jambalaya. Stuff like that. I'm not making like no little individual kind of stuff. I have to have stuff that, people could eat that would stay good over the course of a couple of hours without, people getting up with E. coli poisoning or something like that. So I would make stuff like that. The jambalaya, you can cook it and put it in the refrigerator, and people just scoop it out, microwave it, they're serving, and then there they go. But they used to really love my chili. I've been getting requests for it even now. So I'll probably make some in a couple of weeks. Ooh, so there you go. That's that. Question number 13 now. Female 22 to 27 from Derby, East Midlands in the UK. Summary of issue. My boyfriend doesn't wash his bum, and doesn't think that he needs to. Okay. I'm 22 and I have been with this 24-year-old man for 2 years, and it's been a great relationship. Amazing, actually. He treats me so well, and we rarely argue. If we do, it's never for too long. I never really paid much attention to his asshole. Why do I get these letters? Why? Because why would I? He isn't into butt stuff, at least until recently. I should mention that I've always noticed a slight smell from him when he took his pants off, but he works out in the elements and has very long hours, so I chalked it up to him just being sweaty and maybe having a case of swamp ass. She's using a lot of new terms from just learning things. Just the show is so educational. And of course, I assumed that he took care of it once he got. Just looked up and saw the green faces and the nose, all of zeros. Oh my God, this is too funny. And of course, I assumed he took care of it once he got in the shower. We only started living together about a month ago, and I would notice occasional stains in his underwear. And honestly, it wasn't all the time, but it happened enough for me to bring it up to him. He told me that it was normal for men. Yeah, nasty ass men. Being someone who has always had the majority female friends, all sisters, and I didn't do my laundry for my dad or anything. I just assumed that maybe it was more typical for men. Plus, he had recently been diagnosed with IBS, that's irritable bowel syndrome. He told me he was taking care of it, though, and that he's as hygienic as any other man would be. I found out that IBS can make you more likely to have stains here and there, so I just let it go. A week ago, though, we were having some fun in bed, and he looked at me like he wanted to say something. He kind of froze and blushed a little before asking if I would rim him. I was a little taken aback because before then he was never into that kind of stuff, but I agreed. Candace, okay. We got into position and I started to open his cheeks, and that's when I wanted to puke. Oh, is this a comedy show? Am I being punked? What's going on here? Oh God, I can't stop laughing. This shit is hilarious. Where did she say she wanted to puke? There was a semi-thick layer of poo crusted on his butt, and there was a little bit plastered on the inside of his cheeks. I got up and ran to the bathroom. He seemed genuinely concerned and confused by my reaction, and as he approached me, I shoved him off of me and told him to go clean his butt. This is when he started to get a little angry with me, and he explained that he does clean his butt. I asked, oh God, I have tears in my eyes. This is shit hilarious. I asked him what his method was, and he told me that when he shampoos his hair, the combination of soap and water gets between the cheeks and cleans it. I was so angry and disgusted. I told him that wasn't normal. He looked very offended before he calmly packing his backpack and leaving the apartment. It's been a while, and we still haven't spoken. I don't even know if he wipes at this point. I'm so grossed out still. I don't know what to make of him or the situation. Any input or advice on how to deal with this would be appreciated. God, get that nasty ass fucker out your life. What you talking about? It's like, it's the right big layer of food. That took me out. I just like, this poor child. Girl, okay, first of all, let me just tell you something. All that shit he told you was bullshit. Men who are in relationships and they care about being funky, they clean their butt between the cheeks with a towel and soap. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't use the same towel on your body that you use to clean your booty, but you use a towel. And then both of them will go into the laundry where they will be washed with bleach and all of that stuff. Any man who does not clean his asshole, the inside of his ass and the butt cheeks and all of the crack, is a nasty fucker. Those are the ones that's going to put shit stains on your sheets and stuff like that. Please. It's a crappy letter. Oh, Vanna got jokes. Yeah, these dudes are just nasty. He's just thinking that the shampoo from his hair drips down his body and just magically creeps in between those folds of flesh and washes away the shit stain. Oh my God. Yes, the lights were on so she could, but it wouldn't have mattered because she could smell it. And so, yeah, that's just gross. He packed his backpack and left. You should have been like, hallelujah. Hallelujah, as Madeir says. And never let him back in your house. He wouldn't have to worry. I would have blocked him. Said, you and your nasty ass. Change his name to my phone to nasty ass. And then blocked the number. Oh, I don't know. He might have, girl, who knows? But just think about it. Even if it is itchy, that means he's digging in there with his fingers to scratch it. Where them fingers going? Girl, no. All in all, this was the funniest letter I've had in weeks. Poor girl, though. Let's move on to question number 14. He's not suspect if he got that because, they be very clean. They not trying to be like that. They be doing enemas and all kind of stuff to make sure all that shit is clean. Literally, the shit is clean, like from the inside out. So I don't think that. But I think it's the IBS thing. He's probably doing some farts and they're really like live ones. I can't believe we're having this conversation. They're live ones. And so he don't go to the bathroom and wipe them, and then it just dries up there. And then he's just walking around like, what? I can't believe I'm having this conversation. This is just hilarious. All right, let's move on. Question number 14. Male in the 28 to 34 age group from Spokane, Washington. Some have issue. My partner is upset at me for bringing up a prenup. She feels this is an attack on her character. I'll be laughing about this shit all night. Okay, we're currently in a stage of our relationship where we're talking about marriage. I purchased a house a few months after we started dating, and we have been living together for 2.5 years now. I'm now looking to buy a second home and renting out my current house. We were having a conversation about investments, and my partner asked if the next house would be an investment-owned property in my LLC or in our house together. I said it would be mine, as I will be fronting all the money. Excuse me. She's currently in grad school, and I insisted that she not contribute to rent in our current home and rather focus on school and interning. That was smart, because she can never claim that she has a claim on your property. Good job. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Now, my parents are not U.S. citizens and will not rely on any form of Social Security in their retirement, and my investments are meant to help ease them through. I want to ensure that the investments I'm making will help my parents through retirement are protected from any unforeseen circumstances in the future. My partner and I are very good at conflict resolution, and we trust each other completely. But we're having a hard time seeing eye to eye on this one. My partner believes that my desire for a prenup is fundamentally a lack of trust. She believes it is a legally binding agreement that protects my investments from her, therefore demonstrating a lack of trust. However, I see it as ensuring my parents have a financial safety net. I don't know what to ask, really. I don't want help convincing her to my side. I suppose I just want to hear your thoughts on the best way to handle this. Consult an attorney and set up a trust. You want to put all your property and everything in your trust with your parents as the beneficiaries. Set up something so that when they hit 65, any monies, like, say the rental income, maybe you could assign it to go to the trust instead of in your bank account. Whatever, I don't know how you want to structure it. So you want to basically set it up so that your stuff is in the trust. Your parents will be the beneficiaries of the trust. She won't have anything to do with the trust. She marries you and you guys get another house together. Well, then she can have some input into that. But anything that you have before marriage, you want to use it to take care of your parents, and there's no discussion. If she don't like it, then she could get to step in. Those are your two options. Either you're gonna like it and stay, or you're gonna not like it and leave. But there's not gonna be any kind of negotiation where you get your name on my stuff when I want it to be taken care of my parents, who's not gonna get a dime at Social Security out from the United States government. Well, they need something to take care of them, and you just worried about yourself. So that's what you're gonna do. Okay, so consult an attorney, a tax attorney, figure out what to be a estates and trust lawyer, whatever it is, and set up this trust that I'm talking about. Put all your shit in the trust. Any benefits you have, your stocks, your bonds, your investments, property, everything, put it in your trust, not in the LLC, in a trust, and then you manage it from there. Okay, they'll set it up for you so that it makes the best sense, and you can give your parents monthly income that way or something. I don't know how you want to do it. Y'all talk that out. But I think you're a very responsible young man. I love the fact that you're looking forward and setting things up so that not only for you to protect yourself, but your parents, because you understand what, the dilemma that they're going to be facing. And I say, good job. It would be nice to see more young men be as responsible and as much of a go-getter as you. That would be a wonderful thing. So I know your parents are real proud of you. Just keep it up. And if she's not really good, she's not interested in compromising with you on this and accepting the situation as you have presented it, then understand that means she's the wrong woman for you. There's no way in this world somebody should be caring about themselves when they're going to be going to grad school and coming out making bank. What's she worried about your house for that you setting up for your parents? Is she going to be marrying you and offering to help support your parents? And when you guys move into the house, are you going to take care of her? Is she talking about that? You need to ask her. I think she on some bullshit personally. Isn't that pretty awesome? I'm like, shit, I wish I had a son like that. I wouldn't be so stressed out. Question number 15, female 22 to 27 from Austin, Texas. The male in question is 28 to 34, and he lives in Los Angeles. Okay, this is interesting. Summary of issue. My fiance went to a gay bar. Okay. These letters just go from bad to worse. So the other night, my man went out. I don't care that he went out. I'm glad he did. He's very hermit crab-like, and he doesn't really make friends easily. Anyway, he went with a bunch of his friends. I should include that we're long distance, well, duh. And I asked him where they were going, and he said that they're still deciding, and that was the last thing he told me. That was on Wednesday. He didn't get back to his place until 2 a.m. his time, and he didn't tell me good night or that he loved me either. It's now Sunday, and I'm just now finding out that it was a gay bar that he went to. We were discussing, and he said, have you ever been to a bar? Everybody flirts with everybody. That sentence broke my heart again. I've already been through so much relationship trauma and everyone cheating on me that I don't know if I can believe him when he said nothing happened. He went out another time at the start of our relationship, and it was with a woman. He says that she's gay, but he took her to get food and watch Thor, Love and Thunder. And the only reason I figured it out was a woman was because he didn't send pictures like he regularly does. Another thing, we were in FaceTime the night that he went out, and he promised to text me and send me pictures, but I received nothing. I don't know what to do here. I've talked to my friends, and they say it's a red flag, and he's probably with another person. I asked him how he forgot to tell me where he went, and he said he's just used to not telling anybody where he's going. But I feel like it should be different with me, right? I don't know what to do with this situation. Do you have any advice? Yes. Break up. You know why? Right? Long distance relationships are stupid. I'm just going to be blunt. It's a waste of fucking time. You think that you talking on the phone and zooming somebody and all this old stuff here is going to take the place of somebody being right there with you? Being able to hold somebody's hand, kiss them, hug them, play, stay on the couch with them and watch TV. It doesn't work. People get lonely. And then when they get lonely, they find somebody else to fill that gap, and you get this is what you end up with. It happens every single goddamn time. And I don't know why you girls keep falling for these internet long distance relationships. What is this fantasy that you have somebody that you only talk to on the phone or online? Wake the hell up. That's not a relationship. That's what they used to call a pen pal in the olden days. My God. So anyway, dude went out and dude had a good time. If he went to a gay bar, well, that was his choice. He hang around with lesbian women and gay men. So that ought to tell you something if you have any brain. It's time to move on from this. Question number 16, male, 20 to 34, Philadelphia. Summary of issue. My ex is holding our son over my head while trying to make me get back together with her. Our son is a year and a half old, and we are both 29. We broke up about 2 months ago. I get texts every day saying that I abandoned our family and I don't care about my son. She tells me to come back and be together and uses our son to her advantage by telling me that he's changing because I'm not around. Because of our work schedule, I give him 3 days a week, sometimes 4, because Thursday is our flex day. We don't want to go to court, but at the same time, these messages I get on a daily basis are messing with me because even though I know I love my son, she still makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Our relationship is very toxic, and I don't want my son growing up in that. My parents split up when I was around his age, and I feel like it helped me because I never seen them argue or anything, and they're both still fully in my life, so it was just normal. Our son has the flu right now and is in the ER because he's dehydrated. She's in contact with my mother about everything, and our son is fine now, but she still barely keeps me updated and sends me texts like this. Don't try to act like you're in his life, dude. Our son is very sick and I'm taking care of it because his dad isn't around. I get that she's hurting over our breakup, but when our son is involved, it really messes with me. How can I go about this situation? Get her to stop using our son against me? Should we go to court? I know you have legal experience in past work, so any advice about the situation would greatly help. Yes, you should have done that immediately. We don't want to go to court. You're stupid. That's for your protection as a non-custodial or whatever you're going to get, joint custody, whatever. You need to make sure that all of this is in writing and it's a court-ordered thing. You're going to have joint legal and joint physical custody with your son. Then you most likely, whoever makes the most money, was probably you, is going to have to pay child support to the other person. But it's mitigated by the fact that you would have so much custody. So it might not be that as much as you're thinking. But yeah, you want to take care of that. You want to get all that in writing, all documented and all of that. When your visitation days are, when your visitation times are, holidays that you get the kid, all of this kind of stuff. Those are all things, school vacations as he gets older. These are all things that you want to have in the document. 2 weeks during summer break season, school break or whatever. I mean, whatever it is that you think you want, make sure that you put it in this document. Both of y'all going to sign off of it. It's going to be filed with the county, county administrator, so that it's part of the public court record. And then both of you need to abide by it. If there is a problem, and so either one of you or both of you decide that, you're going to do something different, well, that opens the door up to further issues that you be dragged back into court. So whatever agreements that you guys work out, they usually assign you a court mediator that would, work with you both and help you come up with a nice resolution to this problem. And then all you got to do is follow it. You can also put in there, you can show them these crazy texts she sends you and say that you want all content or comments or whatever contact with you to be strictly limited to the child, that she is not to contact you with BS like this, only in an emergency, stuff like that. So just think about what you want and what will make your life easier, what do you think will help make this situation smoother, and then you work that out with the mediator, put it in your agreement, and both of y'all sign it, and you go on with your business, go on with your life. That's what you have to do. I know people say, well, I'm going to keep the government out of my business and this and that. But when you have a fool like this who wants to, try to use a relationship like that against you, it never worked. What I suggest, maybe I'm just a bitch, but I mean, if I was you and she said, you don't want to be, you struck our family, this and that, say, bitch, we'd have never had a family. We was just fucking and we happened to have a baby. You confused. I never married you, and you know why? Because I didn't want to. So therefore, you was never my wife, and we never had a family. That's your delusion. That's what I would tell her. So she could get off of this thing. She could start, derailing herself and start healing. It's like, we was never a family, so you didn't lose shit. You lost somebody who you was fucking, and that's all it was. Okay, you just had to be stupid and have a baby, though. But, I mean, I love him and everything, but, that's on you. You don't want to have a goddamn baby, so now you got one. I'm telling you, I would be a savage. If I was a good dude, I would be like, I'm not dealing with this. Let me just tell you about yourself. You made a stupid decision to be fucking with no birth control and get yourself pregnant. So now you just have to deal with it. And this is what we're going to do. Meet me in court. And we're going to get the judge to help us iron all this shit out. And then I don't want to hear from your ass anymore. And this is something about the kid. Got it? But it's true though, right? I mean, people just want to, these women, y'all just having all these delusions about, that I'm wifey and, this, we are family. We don't have a family. No, you just stupid. You just breeding willy-nilly with some man that don't want you. If he wanted you, he would have made you his wife and done it right and proper so he could protect his kids legally. He don't give a shit about none of you. He's concerned about himself. That's why he wants to stay single. And you just stupid and just up there having a baby and just living with him and paying bills with him and just doing all the stuff like you married. You dummy. I'm gonna buy a motherfucker a box of Cracker Jacks. You sitting up there expecting me to do something for you. It's not gonna happen. Not happening. Yeah, but there's no such thing as wifey. You're a wife for your husband or you not. And the only way that is when you go down to the courthouse and you sign a marriage certificate and your shit is registered with the government, and then you get the tax breaks and you get everything else that comes with being a husband and wife, for legal protections, insurances, and rights of inheritorship and all this kind of stuff. You get all those things when you get married. You just a baby mama or a baby daddy. You don't get shit. That's the part they don't realize. Stupid. I wish I would. Anyway, let me move on. Question number 17. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group from Santa Clara, California. Summary of issue. I am wondering how to go about making sure that my 16-year-old son has access to contraception. This is definitely a what would Deb do question. I'm the mom of a son who's almost 16 and recently got his first girlfriend. He hung out at her house for the first time yesterday. I'm a nurse and I also come from a pretty sex-positive family where sex isn't a shameful or taboo subject. So I've had several discussions with him over the years about it. My question is it weird to have condoms available in a discreet place so that he has access to contraception? Do you have any experiences with how to handle teenage relationships in a healthy and respectful way? I got pregnant young and I don't want the same to happen to my son, but I don't want to preach abstinence because that isn't realistic. What you do is you preach responsible abstinence. Let me explain what that is. That's a dead concept. Responsible abstinence is this. You understand that in spite of your hormones, and this is why you say you talked to, let's start here first. You say you talked to him several times about this over the years. That don't even count. That was like a warm-up. Now that he has this girlfriend is when you sit down and talk to him. Like hardcore. Like, look, little motherfucker right here. You think because you have a girlfriend, I know the next thing you're going to want to be doing is doing something sexual with this girl. Let me explain to you how this is going to go. If you get her pregnant and she doesn't want to get a termination, that means you going to have to drop out of school, get a job, and take care of your baby because you would have made a child and I'm not taking care of your responsibility. Was I the one laying up in the bed fucking? I don't think so. So that means that's my responsibility. I don't care if you have to have 17 jobs like a Jamaican. Your ass is going to be working and you're going to take care of your baby. So understand what time it is before you start getting real jiggy and thinking that it's going to be all fun and games with you doing all the stuff and getting your dick wet and all the stuff here. This is how this is going to go. Now, if you have a problem with that, then I suggest you don't have a girlfriend until you can do that, afford to do those things. I'm just saying, that's just how I would speak to my son. I gave that lecture to my daughter, so I don't see no reason why it would be different. And it's like, use these parents, like, God will make a way. God don't put nothing on us that we can't handle. And so basically condoning that kind of silliness. And I'll help you. I'm not helping you do shit. I didn't help you fuck. I didn't help you make that goddamn baby. And I'm not helping you take care of it. Figure it out. Just like you figured out how to get pregnant, you figured out how to get somebody pregnant, you're going to figure out what to do with the pregnancy. It's not my responsibility. I don't care. I don't care what y'all do. Do whatever you do. Maybe her parents will help you, but I'm out of this picture and I just want you to understand that. Now, you tell your son that and you mean what you say, and say, here's a box of condoms I got at Costco, but understand that that's not 100% proof. People like 3 kids walking around here whose parents use a condom. So this is a somewhat of a protection, but it's not 100%. So take that in mind and just, do what you need to do. Any other questions you have, I'm always available to respond to your questions with solid, medically sound, and sensible, sane, professional answers. I will never steer you wrong. I will tell you what's what always. The door's always open. But I'm not going to be responsible financially, emotionally, or physically for any child that you make. I just want you to understand that. Then I would go out the door, flip my hair, and slam the door and let him think about that. Don't be one of them parents that support that shit. As soon as they think that you support it and that is going to be okay and that you'll help them, the next thing you know, they be showing up with 1, 2, 3, 4 babies, thinking you're going to step in and take care of them. Don't do it. And I've been called horrible names by some other Black women who are like, but that's your grandchild. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You think it's so wonderful? You go over there and take care of it. I've done my time. I didn't plan to be single mother. I didn't make that plan. That's how it ended up, though. And I dealt with the card that I was dealt with. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't really have a choice in shit. You just make it work. But I could not see my daughter willingly putting herself into that. I cannot tell you how fucking stressful that was. And I'm college educated and was making good money. And it was still stressful. It was still traumatic. I was still exhausted. I don't know how these people making these little baby mamas on minimum wage and stuff. I don't know how they do it. I honestly don't, because I'm making like $70,000, $80,000 a day then. So it's like I was, I had money going on nice vacations and stuff, but it was like I can't imagine the stuff that these girls be going through, and I cannot understand why anybody would willingly do that to themselves. So yeah, that's what I would tell my child, my son. So think about that. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your boy, but you need to give him a reality check and make sure he understands what time it is and how responsible he better be with his dick. Okay? This ain't good time, Sonny. This is life. And you could be creating one while you mess around trying to have a good time with somebody's daughter. You're going to mess up her life and you're going to mess up yours. And mine's not going to be messed up. You're going to be the fuck up out of my house, too. You're not going to live here. I don't feel like hearing no screaming ass baby. So when you just lay out down the law, just let him know. This is you're going to have to create a problem for yourself. Understand that you're going to be dealing with it all by yourself. Please. Question number 18, female, 28 to 34, from Leeds in the UK. Summary of issue. Am I the only wife that thinks it's weird to call your husband your kid or your biggest kid? I have heard a lot of wives say that their husband is their biggest child, and I just cannot get with it. And they say it happily. I just don't understand this thinking. Grown men should be able to take care of themselves. What is your position on this? I don't understand it either. Although I've seen those kind of relationships where the men act like they helpless infants and can't do nothing. Well, honey, where are my socks? Where's my shirt? Have you seen my red t-shirt? Where are my shoes? Where's the food? I'm hungry. Like, like they're little kids. It's like, get you in there and just cook something for yourself and cook something for me too while you at it. Okay, you make me a sandwich. No, I can't. I'm too busy doing everything else that you won't do. So no, I'm not going to do that. You make it yourself. You want something to eat. Or go McDonald's. Wendy's, Taco Bell. I don't know what you're going to do, but don't be looking for me to do no extra work. But yeah, you're right. They do that. I just have to do everything for him. And they say it like, with pride or something. I can't tell you, because any women I met who was like that, I immediately nixed them from my life. So I cannot tell you. I've never really talked to one to figure out, what their mentality is. I just roll my eyes and say, this is a dumb bitch. And then I'll be out. That'll be the end of that. Question number 19, female, 22 to 27, from Taos, New Mexico. Summary of issue. My mom wants access to my medical records, and I don't want to share them with her. Ooh. For years, my mother, she's 55, works in healthcare, has been asking me to sign a HIPAA release form that would give her full access to my medical records so she can, quote, advocate for me. Okay, so how old are you? Oh, you're in the 22 to 27 age group, but you don't say exactly. Okay. I love my mom deeply, but I'm completely opposed to this. I tell her everything, and if I ever chose to hide something from her, it would mean it's very intentional and for a good reason. This whole issue recently blew up when I became injured. Nothing major, but she once again asked for my records so that she could call the doctor to advocate for me because she believed I wasn't being adequately treated. I told her no once again, and we had a huge fight. Essentially, she claims I'm being extremely disrespectful to her for not sharing access and says that this is evidence that I am hiding something from her and that I only love her conditionally. Wow, that's kind of manipulative. And that most people would have no problem sharing these with their mom. She continues to emphasize that she only wants to help me and that in the case of an emergency, she wouldn't know a full background to give to doctors, which to an extent I do believe. However, my mom is prone to controlling behavior, and she insists on going to doctor's appointments with my adult younger sisters because she believes that they don't advocate enough for themselves. To me, this just seems like a pretty narcissistic attitude for her to believe that she should be entitled to our medical information. She has medical knowledge from her job, but she's not a doctor. Maybe I'm being ridiculous, but I need objective opinions. Is my refusal really such a hurtful dig at a mother who wants the best for me? She insists that this is me trying to hold her at arm's length, and that I'm trying to hide things from her who has medical knowledge, and it's completely wrong and hurtful. To me, though, it's simply because I want to be in full control of my own medical care. For additional perspective, she is Mexican. I know this mindset of no parental boundaries is cultural, so I feel guilty, but I need an outside opinion. Well, I'm going to give you one. Say no. Keep saying no. And I suggest that you go on a low information diet. Like you got hurt. I mean, do you live with her or something? So it would have been obvious that you got hurt. If you live on your own, you didn't have to tell her that you got hurt. Why would you tell her that? If you go to the doctor, you go to the gynecologist, or you go to whatever, you getting your mammogram or whatever, why would you tell her that that's what you're doing? Stop talking so much. This thing, this one sentence here, I tell her everything. You need to stop doing that. That's your problem. You got a big mouth. You tell her everything. Well, of course, you want more, no more. So, you got to keep in mind, if you get you a boyfriend and you get married and stuff, you're going to be telling his business too. Shut up. Stop telling your mother stuff. She wants to know stuff. Say, I don't really want to talk to you about that. Oh, that's not your concern, mother. I'll handle it. Worry about, Renita and Jaquita. Stop. I'm grown. I don't need your help like that. Stuff like that to her. You got to put boundaries up in you. You need to be strong with it. You need to be firm. There's no reason for her to be knee deep up in your medical records like that. You're doing the right thing to keep her out, but I'm going to go a step further and tell you to stop telling her stuff. She don't need to know nothing about your life. What, who you screwing, who you dating, what you doing, your cramps, nothing. She don't need to know any of that kind of stuff. Stop talking. Talk to your mother about just generic shit, parties and what's going on at work or something. Not anything real personal, because she needs to be on a timeout on that kind of stuff so she can understand that this ain't about you. Okay, I'm not about that life, and you're not gonna be all up in my mix like that. So that's what I suggest to you. You've been talking way too much, telling your mother way too much of your business. Man, I stopped telling my mother stuff when I was 14. I'm like, I'm not telling you nothing. My mother also an RN. She never asked me, though. I have to say she never asked me. But yeah, the only time my mother asked me a question, I think I was about 13, 14, maybe I was 15. I'm not sure. I told you all the story about the little ugly boy that came over to our house that time. He used to like me, and he put the pencil sharpener up for me, right? The kind that mounts on the wall and you turn the crank. They used to have them in schools. And I had bought one because I really like how they sharpen, right? So he mounted it on the wall for me and stuff in my room. And so after he left, my mother was like, and I still remember this conversation. I just wanted to die, y'all. I just wanted to die, just blow up and dry away. I was so embarrassed. So here's my mother asking me, yes, so were you and Israel? His name was Israel. Are you and Israel kissing? And in your room? I said, oh, why would I do that? This guy was like, he looked like the creature from the Black Lagoon, for real. It's just not cute at all. I was like, oh no, my God, what in the world would make you ask something like that? Ew. I hadn't even kissed anybody yet anyway. And then she's like, well, I noticed when he was leaving that he had an erection. That's what my mother said to me. I just wanted to die, y'all. I just thought I was going to die. I just wanted to just die of embarrassment and like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? She asked me that. And she thought I was really going to, I mean, even if I had been kissing, which I had not, but like, do you think that would like inspire me to spill my guts and say, yes, I was kissing his tongue down his throat. No wonder he got a wood. What? So yeah, so after that, I said, okay, I'm gonna stop telling her anything. I stopped telling her anything. I'm telling you, Mom, she was a trip. She was an absolute trip. But see, to her, that's just normal conversation because she was a nurse. So she's like, she used those kind of anatomically correct terms and biologically correct terms. And she never said stuff to us like, boo-boo and cock eyes. She never used those terms. She would say bowel movement and urinate and stuff like that. It was a trip because we would go to school and, because the kids be saying, oh, I had to pee. We say, oh, you mean, we have to urinate? And they're like, what's that? Oh, growing up in my house was so funny. My mother. Both of my parents were just special. Okay, so anyway, that's my advice to you, young lady. Question number 20, female 18 to 21. She's in Washington, D.C. Summary of issue. How do I, as a 20-year-old young woman, know when to trust a, quote, gut feeling about someone? Every time you get one. Every time you get one. Trust yourself. It's just too often young ladies don't trust themselves and they talk themselves out of being wary about situations where they're in danger. So let's see what you have to say. For everybody listening, if you get a gut feeling about something, act on it. Listen to yourself. Trust yourself. That's your female intuition kicking in. Don't try to be nice. Don't second guess yourself. Don't downplay it. Get your feet moving in the opposite direction from this, what's making your spidey senses tingle. Get out of that situation. Get away from that person. Act immediately. Trust your gut. So she says, I train Muay Thai kickboxing. Oh, look at you. And I have currently been at it for 3 years, and I'm also the only girl at the gym, besides one lady who's in her 30s that randomly comes. Recently, the gym has been gotten a new coach. He's 37. Everyone speaks very highly of him, and he generally seems like a nice guy. The first day that he was coaching us, he asked us all our names and talked to us in a group setting. He hardly talks one-on-one with us unless it's during practice and related to the drill that we're doing. I was once early with a few others in the gym, including him, and I noticed that he was looking in my direction and would end up coming over to talk to me. This is when I got a weird feeling from him, but quickly pushed it away since our interaction wasn't out of the ordinary. After that interaction we had and the more practices he coached that I went to, there would be a few other things that he had done and continues to do that makes me think that weird feeling I got from when we first met was right. Examples. Number one, he will always go out of his way to greet me or would ask me what I want to do during practice, what I want to work on. He does it with the others. Number two, he will use me the most, if not all the time, as his demonstration partner, which sometimes doesn't make sense because he's a lot taller than me. Number three, he gives me lots of compliments, but doesn't really give the other guys that much. Number four, anytime we talk, he's always very close and leaning in to me. Number five, I have also noticed that he'll watch me after practice when I'm gathering my things. And number six, and finally, yesterday, we were working moves with our partners, and he came up behind me and brushed his fingers very low against my back and whispered how I had a good stance. I don't have any women in my life to talk to about something like this, Deb, but I'm mainly surrounded by men, and I know that they will say I'm being dramatic or that I am an attention seeker with this situation. I have been targeted and harassed before by men, and sometimes I feel like it's really easy for them to do that because I am so shy and anxious and I am too much of a coward to say something. I really like the gym, and I'm nervous that he'll start to try to push boundaries with me, but I also feel like I'm being dramatic in this situation. Deb, do you think I'm overthinking and overanalyzing this? I just can't seem to shake that weird feeling I first got from him, and I don't know what to do. What you want to do is start looking for a new gym. That's the first thing. You don't say anything to him. You don't warn him. You going to start looking because you want to have a place to go so you can continue your training. Ask around for recommendations. Look online for gyms in your area. See what kind of ratings they get and stuff like that. And it would be ideal if you could find a place where they train women and children. Okay? Not just men. That would be a better environment, I think. Number two, when he asks you to come up and be his, demonstration partner, say, let so-and-so have a turn this time. Let Randy do it. Let Clark go. I do it all the time. Let them have some time to be the demo partner. Now you're going to say that, and you're going to say that right in front of everybody, right? He's going to try to say, oh, no, come on, say, no, I've already done it enough times. Let them do it this time. And next week and the week after that as well. And you're going to stop being his demo partner until you dip the fuck up out of there. You understand what I'm going at? You need to let him know that you understand what's going on and that you're not going to be dumb and just continue to let him treat you that way. That's what this does. It's very non-confrontational. It's nothing for you to be afraid of. And it's true. He needs to let some of the other students be the demonstration partner as well. Right? That's fair. They're paying their money too. So why is it only you? And you can say all that if he, asks about it. Say, no, they paid a fee just like me. They should have the right to be a demonstration partner as well. And then you're going to sit there. What's he going to say? No, they don't. And then they'll be upset. So you can, that's your tool. Okay. Then he gives you compliments, but doesn't give the guys that much. Well, I could still mean, the male thing, but it depends on what kind of compliments he's talking about. You could say, if he gives you a compliment, then you say, yeah, but Charlie there, he did really great too. You see what I mean? So you bring them into the compliment circle. Oh yeah, all the guys here, everybody's really good, this and that. You don't let him get away with singling you out. Number four, every time he talks, he's very close and leaning into me. Say, I would like some social distance here. Social distance, please. Boundaries, space. He'll watch you after practice when you're gathering your things. Well, you're the only girl in there, so I'm sure he's going to be doing that versus watching the dudes gather their things, right? That by itself isn't that big of a deal. It's the other things I'm focusing on. And then he came behind you and brushed his fingers along your back. You should have punched him. Why did you not use some of your Muay Thai kickboxing and blast his ass? Say, don't touch me. We're not practicing right now. You have no reason to put your hands on me in any way. That's what you're supposed to do, young lady. You got to find your voice. And I'm not saying this is not limited just to him. This is any interactions that you're going to have with men because you're only 20 years old. This kind of shit's going to be happening to you for the next 20 years at least. Men are just stupid and they do inappropriate things, and it's a test to see what you recognize and what you're going to let them get away with. So you can't let them get away with a trick. You need to practice your speaking up. And the main thing is he puts his hands on you outside of the demonstrations and outside of the ring where your classmates are. You say, don't touch me. We're not in practice right now. Keep your hands to yourself. All right? This motherfucker right here, man, see, that's a good one. You know, you have a mother, because I would be sitting right there with my legs crossed watching. And if I saw him touch my daughter, man, I would just say, call up my cousins. Come on up here. They got that jailhouse buff. It's like, I don't know how it does against, Muay Thai, but I know 4 or 5 big jailhouse buff niggas and your little leg kicking and fleeing shit's not going to really be too effective. So you need to watch where you put your hands. Okay, and there's plenty more where they came from. That's just the beginning. Don't touch my daughter. I'm coming to every practice and anything looks inappropriate, we're going to have a problem. You understand? That's why little girls need to have a violent mother. If they don't have a daddy or some brothers to keep an eye on them, they need to have a mother who's crazy. Just crazy, just don't care. Like, prison, I'm not scared of that. If it means that you ain't bothering my child, I'll go happily. Now I'm not going to be arguing with you about it. Keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, see, she's been harassed and targeted. Yeah, it's you at that age that's going to happen. It's going to be happening more and more. I'm glad you're learning how to self-defense, though, something you can use to defend yourself. But your other defense is going to be your voice. You've got to find your voice. You got to. Yes, honey. You got a violent mommy. I see. That's your mommy's my best friend. My friend. Okay, let's move on. Question number 21. Female, 22 to 27. She's from London. Summary of issue. Boyfriend's dad wants me to call and text him regularly. What? My boyfriend and I are both in our late 20s and have been dating for 4 years. Recently, my boyfriend confided in me that his dad would like for me to call and text him regularly, and that my boyfriend should do the same with my mom so we can develop a stronger, quote, in-law relationship. We both think this is a bit odd, but what are your thoughts? Just say no. Say, we've been dating, but we're not in-laws, and so we don't need to develop an in-law relationship, and I don't really have anything to say to you. And you can tell him that, tell your daddy I don't have nothing to say to him. Well, I'll talk to him when I see him, but I'm not going to be texting him and calling him. We don't have that kind of relationship. That don't sound like some shady shit to me. You trying to get something going on the under. Like, let's meet for coffee. Well, let's go here and there since you're going to be my daughter-in-law. Let's do this and that. Let's hang out. That's where that's going. He thinks he's slick. Stay away from him. Don't be alone with that man. Tell your boyfriend that his father's a freak, that shit's not happening, and that he better not text your mother either. Okay, that's a boundary violation right there. He can let him, since the message came through him from his dad, you let the message go back to his dad. That's just not going to happen. And you'll talk to him when you see him, but you will have no further contact with him outside of that. And make sure your boyfriend rehearses it. And so he said it to your daddy exactly the way that you said it to him. So he understands what time it is. You ain't going to be getting no slick shit going over here, motherfucker. You ain't having that kind, it's not that kind of party. Tripping. Question number 22. See, what these dudes, always some shit. Now, how's his son supposed to feel about that? That's so disrespectful to his kid. He's in his 20s, you in your 50s or whatever. You want a woman, get you one. That's your age. Leave your son's girlfriend alone. Just a trifling piece of shit. Question number 22, female, 28 to 34 from Phoenix, Arizona. Summary of issue, how do I get past life-changing news along with deception from my boyfriend? Hey, ladies, today has been the day from hell, a complete mind blip, if you will. My boyfriend didn't answer his phone for 24 hours. After he didn't answer anybody or even show up to work, I went to his apartment because I was extremely worried. Turns out he's depressed and dealing with a lot of emotion after getting bad news from the doctor. Apparently, he suspects him of having testicular cancer and wants to do a biopsy. He's 45 and I am 28, by the way. With that news, I broke down and cried. He cried. I told him I am by his side and that he's going to be okay and how much he means to me, etc. I didn't want him to sit at home sulking, so I took him to the park and we talked, and then I offered drinks and lunch on me. For some context, he's been having financial issues. His hours have been cut at work, mixed with financial irresponsibility. And he's 45, and you 28, and this is who you choose to date. Okay, let's proceed. Anyways, we go to lunch and we watch football and we talk and we cry and we embrace each other the whole time. He asks if we can stop at the gas station for some Black and Mild later. I'm like, sure, no problem. He's pretty much broke until next payday. So I began to get a headache after we ate, and I hand him the money to go pay our tab. As he walking back to the table from the bar, I see him put some of the money, my change from the bill, in his pocket. At first he denied it, but I saw it and asked what he took. He said change. Then he said $5, but it's only for the cigars, and he was too embarrassed to ask me again when we get to the gas station. So I make him empty his pocket, and he took $10, not $5. I literally watched him pocket my money. This is where I need advice. Part of me is like, okay, he's having a hard time. It's only $10. The other part of me is like, wow, dude, I would have given you the shirt off my back if you had just asked. How dare you? With all things considered, I have no clue how to proceed. I want to be there and help through whatever, but I can't believe he did that and tried to lie. It's a small amount of money, but it's the principle. Any advice and thoughts from you and the squad are welcome. Get rid of this broke fool. Okay, first of all, he's 45. He's too old for you in the first place. Number two is his shit's all fucked up. They're gonna cut off his nuts, and then what's he gonna do? You know, you young, might want to have kids and stuff. You're not gonna be having them from him. And you don't know if he's gonna survive this in any way. So you sitting up there gonna be with some man who's gonna be laid up with chemo, throwing up, and no money because he can't work, and just a hot mess. And that's what you signing up for? You better love yourself and deuce the fuck out on this shit. You be sitting up there taking care of some geriatric. Please. As soon as he told you that he had cancer, you were supposed to say, well, sucks for you. Good luck with that. And go and get in your car and drive the fuck off. That's what you're supposed to do. Take him out to lunch and all that kind of stuff, please. Maybe I'm cold-blooded, but that, I could just look into the horizon, right, and see my life with somebody who's already more than 15 years older than me. And sitting up there, thinking I'm supposed to be taking care of this man. I'm not even 30, and he's on the downstroke to 50. And I'm supposed to be changing my life to take care of you, and you so broke that you stealing a 28-year-old girl's change from a restaurant bill that she paid for? See, no. That's it. I'm telling you. I would have left him in the restaurant. But knowing me, as soon as he told me he had cancer, I've been like, wow, that's messed up. What you gonna do? Why aren't you gonna help me? I'm not. So, but you just gonna leave me? Yep, sure am. Let me get my shit out your medicine cabinet, and then I'll be gone. Hospice wife. Yes, there's a lot of articles and videos of floating around about that. I think Vanna and Diana sent me one about hospice kids and hospice wives. So, these men, they all broke down, and they be looking for you to come in and take care of them and save them. When they just save up no money, don't have no health insurance, have working, and they ain't about nothing. But you're supposed to give up your whole life to take care of them. Die, motherfucker. That's what you're about to do. Good luck with that. I'm not doing nothing. I mean, and like the same thing, I wouldn't expect him to change his life for me either. So this is a two-way thing now. I'm not just saying, what I would do. I wouldn't expect him to. I would not. So, I would just probably just send him on his way, saying, well, I got this problem. I really need to deal with that. So you go on over there, because I don't have the energy to deal with you and this. And that would be honest. I just really wouldn't. So, I don't know what she gonna do, girl. I don't know what you're gonna do. But you asked me for advice. That's what I recommend. Deuce out now, because he's gonna be knee deep in your pocket after he gets started getting treatment and can't work. I mean, I guess he could get on disability, but that only depends on how much money he's put into it. And what you guys got going on with this disability. Does he have it to work? He gonna be on some state program? Is he gonna have to get on what do they call it? The SSI stuff, some little Mickey Mouse amount of money. I mean, he's gonna be in a bad situation, and you're gonna feel obligated to help him by giving him your money and taking care of him and cooking for him and cleaning for him and all this kind of stuff. Like you his mommy. Fuck that shit. He just be somebody dealing with his problem by himself. He don't have no life insurance. Please. Question number 23, female 22 to 27, somewhere in the UK it says. Sorry issue, I feel like a mother to my boyfriend. I moved in with my boyfriend earlier this year to his country. We both moved here from my home country because he grew up there. Since we are just starting out here, he doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a driver's license or even know how to drive yet. I own a license in my home country but can't get one here because I'm not a resident. I find myself always having to push and remind him to do his responsibilities. I'm the one who found a place for us, the one job hunting for him, the one making his appointments, etc. This adulting stuff and living away from family situation is tough. But my family still supports me financially because I can't work here yet. My family's pretty well off, but I feel guilty every time and I want to be independent and send them money instead. My boyfriend is a very sweet, kind-hearted, and loyal guy, but I find that he lacks responsibleness. He's bad with money and doesn't cook nor clean. He's not neat whatsoever, and I have to ask him to do me a favor for him to clean up a little. And I have to say it really specifically. I can't help sometimes to feel like my partner is a boy, not a man. I feel like a mom, so having to scold and guide him. I always had the mentality of not needing or wanting a guy who's already stable. I always was willing to build and hustle with my partner. But these days, it's getting very tiring, especially when he wants to spend what's so little of his money for things like games, smoking, vice, and overpriced clothing. I always let him do it because I want him to be happy, but it seems like there's no end. He does pay the rent, but doesn't have much in savings. I love this guy so much, and he's one of the most genuinely kind souls I've ever met. Any advice or insight would be appreciated. Well, he can be a nice soul and stuff, but you don't have to be with him. See, you sound like the girl who is like take charge and responsible and accountable and has visions and goals, and you're doing stuff to work towards them and make them happen. Even something simple as, my parents take care of me, but I want to be able to send them money. That's a goal. That's a life goal, and you're working towards that, setting yourself up to be independent. He set himself to be dependent on you. That's what's going on here. You recognize it and you don't like it. So what does that mean? That means that you need to move out and get your own place. That's what that means. You need to leave him alone and do whatever. If you need to go back to where you were, where your family is, and make your dreams come true there. You only moved there because that's where he grew up. Well, go back home. And then don't ever do this again. You learned a valuable lesson, though. A man has to be able to produce. A man is what he can do. A man is what he takes care of, how he handles his business. This guy is not a man. You're right. He's a child. He's a little kid. And you're like stepping in a mommy role, taking care of him and just doing everything and having to tell him to do chores like he's 12. This wouldn't work for me. This would not work, and I see it's not working for you. So investigate that. Call up your family and tell them you're ready to come back home, and this situation is not working. Get out now before you get in too deep. You already, all the handwriting's on the wall. Get out. Go home. Leave him alone. He may be a nice guy, but that doesn't mean he's the guy for you. And that's the thing that you need to understand. He could be nice. He could be perfect for somebody who wants a little kid to take care of, but that's not you. Okay, so just understand that and let him go. Question number 24 is like, E.T., go home. Male 22 to 27, he's also in England. Summary of issues. What are the rules of dating? Because I keep getting mixed messages from people. Oh, this sounds interesting. I am having an absolutely horrid time trying to date and find anyone. And I'm getting confused by all the advice as I keep getting conflicting views. 1, join a hobby, which I did, only to be followed by, you should not join a hobby to meet women. Approach her, which is followed by, I wouldn't like to be approached by people on the street. Try meeting people in social circles. Number 3, making social circles, followed by, you shouldn't make friends just to meet women. And number 4, use dating apps, followed by, stop using dating apps. They are toxic. Meet people in person. I just don't get the rules anymore. I've tried multiple methods, but finding it quite difficult to meet someone even for a single date. I'm not perfect. I have my baggage, but so does everyone else. Intimacy is an important part of life, and it just sucks I'm not getting any. Okay, well, there's your problem. You just want to meet a woman so you can fuck. You're not really trying to get with a woman for emotional connection or any kind of other thing. You just want some pussy. And so you think women don't figure that out in your energy and your vibe and the way you come off? You think we really don't know that? That's why you're not getting nowhere. You just like a walk around like a horny dog, and you think women are going to respond to that. They're not. You in that age group, 22 to 27, where girls are, starting to think about getting married, having husbands and families and stuff. They're looking for somebody who's going to love them and be with them and who wants a commitment and a future. You just worried about getting your dick wet. So, sir, you're going to continue to be by yourself. I suggest you investigate a professional service for that. That might help you. But you trolling all these different places looking for somebody to give you some free pussy under the guise of a date. It's not going to happen. Your approach is all wrong and your mindset's all fucked up. It's not going to happen. You're too old for this. This is the mindset of like somebody in 18, 19, 20-year-old mindset. Not somebody on the downstroke to 30. Get your shit together. Okay, the girls in your age group are looking for something serious, and you just running around just trying to find some pussy. Just stupid. My God. And so let's just go over these rules, though. Join a hobby. You join a hobby because it's something that you enjoy, not because you think it's going to be a trap to meet women, so they told you right. You should approach her. Yeah, I wouldn't like to be approached by people on the street trying to be in social circles. That's true. You go to places, social circles means events or situations where people are there expecting to meet somebody. Bars, networking events, I don't know, different stuff like that. Weddings maybe are a good place to meet people. But, you just want to approach random women on the street. That never really works out too well because it's creepy. It's creepy as hell. And it's just thirsty. No woman wants to be like, harassed and harangued on the street like that. We don't like it. Okay? It's like only the thirstiest of dudes do that kind of stuff, and they're usually dusty as hell. Or number 3, make social circles. So like you should make friends just to meet women. That's true. You make friends because you want to enrich your life with what they know and the joy that these people bring to your world, that they have your back and stuff like that. You don't do it just trying to get your dick wet. And use dating apps. For all my stop using dating apps. They're toxic. Meet people in person. Why can't we do a mixture of both? Did anybody say you only use a dating app? I'm sure they didn't say that. So that means it's one avenue. They're just telling you to broaden your horizons. That's what they're saying. You just being intensely obtuse, and I'm just not feeling you. Plus, your focus is all fucked up. Question number 25. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group. Oh, there's really 26 questions. I see 26 here. Candace lied to me. She tricked me. Okay, male 20 to 34 from Calgary. Summary of issue. I am crazy about my female best friend. I don't know if I should ask her if she thinks there's a chance between us or say nothing and preserve our friendship. I am 33 and I've been crazy about this 29-year-old woman for 3 or 4 years. We've been friends for 8 to 9 years now, but I don't think she feels the same way. I know she loves me as a friend, but even with all my exes, I didn't feel this way about them. She makes me so happy just to talk to her and see her, and just spending time sitting watching a movie with her means the absolute world to me. That's why I'm here, hoping to get some women's perspective. If you were my platonic friend in this situation, Deb, would you want to know how I feel or say nothing and persevere with our friendship? I'm terrified of losing her, upsetting her with how I feel. It has never been this hard before with me and a woman. I genuinely don't know what to do. Well, see, you get your courage up. Now, would I want to do that? It depends. I think you said you've been friends for 8 to 9 years and you don't think she feels the same way, but you didn't say why you think that. That would have been important information to share. Did she tell you that? Did she say you're not my type? I would never date you, or you're just a dear friend? Did she use the word just? You didn't give me the information, so you put me in a position where I have to kind of guess. But I'm going to say this: you can't continue to be her friend when you want more than that. You're living a lie. Okay, this is duplicitous and it's just foul, really. So what you want to do is sit her down one day or whatever. If you guys on the phone, whatever, say, Sally Sue, we've been friends for 8 or 9 years, and I just need to tell you, I've been crazy about you for the last 4 years, and I would love to be able to date you, take you out and have a different kind of relationship and build upon the friendship that we have, the strong foundation friendship that we have between us. Would you be open to something like that or not? Now, you have to be prepared to hear the no. She might say, no, I just never thought of you that way. I just see you as a brother. I see you as a friend or like family or something like that. In which case you just say, okay. And then you are going to have to say, well, As sad as this is, I don't want to torture myself like that because I want more than I can get. And so I'm going to put some space between us. I'll still be talking to you and stuff like that, but not as much. And we're not going to be spending as much time together because I need to rein my feelings in. I hope you understand. Of course, I'm disappointed, but, you answered my question respectfully and honestly. So there's nothing I can do but accept it. And I appreciate that from you. Okay, that's what you do. You go out like a G. And you don't start whining. Come on, why? How did I just win? You don't do that. You G the fuck up. So you make her respect you as a man the way you respond. You don't whine and pule and act stupid and throw tantrums and act all retarded. You're not going to do that. You're going to do just what I just said. Then, but if she says, well, I was hoping you would say that. I was thinking about that too. I was wondering how that would be between us because we are such great friends. It's like, what relationship is better than one that starts with people as both being friends? I think that's a great idea. When's our first date? Then you can be happy. And then you can start on your path because you would have manned up. So you listen to what I said from both examples. Practice your response if she says no. But you need to get this off your chest and you need to do it. You cannot keep dragging through decades of your life like this, wanting more from this woman and just hanging out with her as a friend, because you know what's going to happen? She's going to meet somebody else because you never spoke up. Meet somebody and he's going to step up and she's going to be off and marry him, and then you're going to be heartbroken and living by yourself the rest of your life. Just sad because you nutted up and didn't say anything. So speak, okay? The worst that can happen is she says no. There's a 50% opportunity, though, for her to say yes. That's a good, to me, 50-50, those are good odds. I'd go with it. Now, our final question of today, we actually had 26 questions instead of 25. This was a young man in the 22 to 27 age group from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Summary of issue. I left a date early because of red flags, and now I feel bad about it. I'm a hardworking 26-year-old man who went on a second date with this 24-year-old girl, and Deb, I have to say it was the worst date I've ever been on, but it still feels awful for deucing out. I met her on Facebook, Facebook dating, which I've honestly met some really nice people, and even though they didn't lead to a relationship, I'm happy I met them. We talked on the phone for an hour and 45 minutes a couple of days after matching. During that talk, I got a couple of red flags. I thought that since I didn't know her, maybe I'm just being apprehensive and judgmental. So let me get your thoughts on this. She drives a car without it being registered. Don't get in it. I'm 99% sure she doesn't drive with insurance. Driving without insurance is illegal here. Yeah, that's pretty much everywhere. Drives as fast as her car can go everywhere she goes, and made fun of me for doing the speed limit, even though I told her I was in a head-on collision earlier this year. I get a strong feeling that she wants me to be someone that buys everything for her, and she jokingly asked for AirPod Maxes twice. My cousin got some of those. Her husband gave them to her. Them bad boys is like $600, right? The AirPod Max, aren't they about $600? The tax and shit, about $600. Okay. I know that may not mean a lot to some people or anyone really, but how people take care of their cars, how I can get a reading on people and how they are as humans. And I hate to say she was on the far bad side of things to me. I first decided to offer main event for our first date. I enjoyed going there and would have fun regardless of the date. But after talking with her, I offered to meet up for a late dinner a day prior to the main event date to see if we were compatible. I don't mind driving. My car gets really good gas mileage. This is like a fucking essay. Let me skip through this. Okay, so he told her to look for IHOP. She didn't find one, but she picked one that was next to her house. He passed through on the way, so that means she didn't want to drive to meet him. She wanted him to come to her. She went to drink with her coworkers before our late dinner. She lied, said she only had one drink, but she was drunk. I told her I don't mind waiting as long as she needs to sober up, but she kept saying she wasn't drunk. Fast forward to yesterday night. We were supposed to meet at 9 for the date. She kept pushing it back until 10. So I get there, and she didn't get there till 10:30. She sat in her car for almost 30 minutes eating chips, telling me she needs to pee instead of going inside immediately to take care of her business. Wow. She runs inside without talking to me and goes to the bathroom and is in there for another 30 minutes. She's on her cycles. I understand that she has lady stuff to take care of, but after waiting 30 minutes, I got up and left. I didn't tell her. I didn't message her. Well, she was in the restaurant. I blocked her number and got 2 private caller numbers on the way home. I feel so guilty. I don't think I've ever felt so bad in my life, but it just felt like she didn't care. I like everything organized and planned out, the opposite of what she did. Sorry if this letter is messy. I'm just feeling frazzled and just thinking about everything. Dude, this is the fucking novel of life in comparison to Gone with the Wind or some shit. I felt like it was endless. Too much detail. I passed 3 restaurants on the way. I mean, all you have to say is I asked her to pick a place that was close to me, but she picked one that was closer to her house, and I passed a bunch of restaurants before. Stuff that's irrelevant. Okay, but the bottom line is she's inconsiderate. She's trying to play you, trying to see if you're desperate enough to want to give her some money or something, and just rude. So you did the right thing to me. I mean, you didn't know her shit, so that was your second date, and you saw how she was clowning. So you got up and left. I've done that. So what would I say? I've got up and left men on dates. Walked right out and got in my car and drove the fuck off and just never talked to them again. And these are pre-block days. Girl, Gone with the Wind. I read that book when I was sick for a week. I had the flu. And I was in the bed sick and read the whole book. It took me the whole week. But it was the longest thing I've ever read in my life. Yeah, except Atlas Shrugged, but I never could finish that book. It was too boring. But it's long too. But I'm telling you, I think you did the right thing. And in the future, just like I tell women, when you get messages early on that there's red flags, you don't move forward. You knew from the first conversation that you talked for an hour, 45 minutes, and you found out about her not driving with insurance, which shows irresponsibility, driving without a car that's even registered, complete irresponsibility, speeding everywhere with no insurance and an unregistered vehicle. I don't even know what kind of level of crazy and irresponsibility that is. And then you still want to go out with her. See, but why did you do that? You're a lad who likes everything planned and organized. So for you, who likes to go by the book and stuff, she was a complete opposite to what you should be trying to go out with. You wasted your gas and you wasted some time. So in the future, when you recognize that something's like that, don't go forward. Just put the brakes on and say, when you hang up, you say, well, that was really nice talking to you and everything. And I hope you find what you're looking for and somebody to buy you some AirPods, bitch, because that ain't me. Okay? That's what you need to do. That's what I would suggest anyway. But you don't have to be as rogue as me. Now, we have this show. It's supposed to be tomorrow. Can I do two shows back to back? We'll see how we do. Tomorrow is supposed to be our $10 on the spot advice show. That's where you come and you pay $10 and you ask your question right on the show. You get to send it in the chat. If you're on YouTube, you can send it in on the chat, or you can use the link that we will be providing you, and you will be able to click it and ask your question like over the air. So it'll be a vocal question. So if your question is long and involved, we suggest that you do that. But this is how you prepare for it. Just type your question into a short document, small document, and so you can cut and paste it when it's time. Because y'all doing that 35 a word minute typing, making us wait with dead air while you type is not working for me. So just type it, prepare your question in advance. You pay your little fee, and then this says you pay your little fee. Then you let us know in the chat that you're ready, and either I or the moderator will acknowledge you and let you ask your question, and you get your answer right there on the spot. How do I do that? I can do that because I have 30 some odd years of experience at this. So, answers magically come to my head. It's like I have insight and vision, and I see things, and I know what you're saying, and I know what you're feeling, and it's easy for me. Okay. So that's what that's tomorrow at 6:00, since we did this today. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this crazy show. And yes, I'm glad to be back. It's a wonderful thing. I'll tell you that. It's a wonderful thing to be back in the air. I wasn't feeling good yesterday. I think it was residual grieving stuff. I was having a hard time. My sister, the remaining sister, having a hard time. So this was an interesting day. But things are on the uptick now. And so I'm not going to worry about it. But I hope you guys have a good evening, and be sure to spread the word. You can find the link to the $10 advice show on the channel wall. and share that link and see if you know somebody who's looking for some advice real quick. They can get it tomorrow for $10. $10. $10. Okay, I'll see you guys all tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock. Be here.